must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Punch, and we shall be looking at the week of Daggers hate speech and history making. And if you've been watching the Kenyan news, I think Kenyans have been shocked by a certain utterances from our political leaders. There are some of them, and the things that have been happening here in the country that really now, perhaps, if it continues in that manner, might threaten the peace and stability of this country. And I think over the week, if you've been watching us, I think we've been appealing, to our leaders to understand that their words have weight, and how they carry themselves and what they say in public really does matter, because some of them might really not know how impactful what they say is, especially to the people who elected them and who believe in them. So thank you so much. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and I think I'll take us back. Okay, Doctor is still handling some things, and once he's able to come back, then he shall take on the show. But joining us also is Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam, and my fellow panelists and our viewers from wherever they are. The world.
All right, and on the panel again is Javan of Karanja from Nyahururu. Javan, good morning. All right, Javan. All right, Javan is still setting up there. All right, Javan is still setting up there. Daniel Wesonga, if you can hear me, good morning. Oh, Javan is there. Javan, good morning.
Miriam, Professor Jared Onyari, Karen Joseph, Indi, and Karanja, all the way from, is it Nyahururu?
It is Nyahururu, yep. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Nanyuki. Sorry, it's Nanyuki. I don't know what. Sorry, it's. I know, Daniel. No wonder you've asked. It is Nanyuki, not Nyahururu.
They are in the same count.
All right, so Javid, we seem to be having a problem there with your video reception there, even your audio. I don't know if you can work on it. If not, then perhaps you can go back to the audio. We seem to have been receiving you very well. And please reduce the volume on your part there, please, so that we're able to have an effective communication. But Daniel, good morning.
Yes, very good morning, Miriam, Professor Jared Onyari, and Karen Joseph once again, and very own Karanja there in Nanyuki.
All right, very well. And our correspondent from the Kenyan coast there in Malindi is Karen Joseph. Karen, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Miriam. Good morning, Professor Jared. Good morning, Sean Wesonga. Good morning, Dr. Kanga and Javan from Nanyuki. Back here.
Javan, can you mute your mute that for us just for a moment, because it's affecting the whole.
Mr. Karanja, mute your telephone and use audio. You hear me?
All right. As he works on that, Doctor, good morning and welcome, and take us through the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you very much, all lovely people. Welcome to this show. The last punch of Friday. What a week it was. How the week was. How did we go through this week? We started in a somber mood. People howling insults. people hating people's mothers, people going back to the old wounds, people opening up Pandora boxes of what is not necessary. What a bad week. What a week it was. A week full of activities violating COVID-19 regulations. When we hear of Europe having second round of COVID-19 coming, when you hear of Britain going back to restrictions, lockdown again from Monday, when you hear of Denmark and the European countries, France, preparing for a second round of COVID-19, and when you hear in Africa, people organizing rallies, calling people coming in the streets without masks, you feel a sad African. Today, I am a sad African. An African that 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I stood single-handedly on this planet, continent called Africa, and I opposed the draconian systems of International Criminal Court. Today, from 2005, which is a good 15 good years, I have opposed the ICC. They will never find me with a fault. I have never gone to interfere with anybody. I have only used facts against them. And I've found they have come out, they have vindicated themselves, they have vindicated themselves without vindicating me. But the results, the events that come on top of this, Miriam, have vindicated me. Today I speak as a proud African, an African who filed 21 applications in the International Criminal Court on the cases of Africa. Out of these, 17 were Kenya, and 4 were for Sudan, Libya, Ivory Coast, and DRC Congo. Miriam, these cases are documented there in the archives of the International Criminal Court. But what pains me today in my punch is we seem to be forgetting what happened in this country 11 years ago to 12 years ago. We seem to have forgotten that as we speak right now, as I'm on television, Mr. Oscar Sudi is addressing a hate speech gathering in Eldoret, where thousands and thousands have turned up to demonstrate against the government, and eventually they will leave that place to go and kill other people, maybe at night. You never know. This is happening as we speak now. And the leaders have not come out from that region to condemn. There is no governor who is condemning such a meeting. There are no ministers condemning such a meeting. There are no MCAs condemning such a meeting. Remember, this documentation is going on. So tomorrow, don't tell people we did not know there was no meeting or there was a meeting. I want to be honest to tell you that this documentation will result into a new route We are accelerating ourselves towards chaos of going back. The cases were not completely terminated. The cases were left halfway hanging, pending further evidence or crooked evidence, which they had could not sustain a prosecution. But now the events that we are getting involved in right now, Miriam and the panel, these events show exactly what the chief prosecutor wanted. He said, I told you, leave it. You know, the strategy of her saying, let me leave it. She knew that at a certain stage, some people will come back and play in her court, in her hands. And strategically, you can now see people have come back to play the same game, the same tactics, the same words, the same tribes, calling each other names. It is sad, therefore, in my punch, to tell you that I am a living history of what happened. We need to embrace reconciliation, seek reconciliation, get healing, finally develop our Kenya. We need to have the sense of accountability, truth-telling, restitution of the state institutions that have collapsed, acceptance of rule of law, engagement to avoid a state of despondency. A state of despondency is growing day and day, created by malcontents who want to achieve power through all means in this country. I am Paul, preaching in Judea, because I'm a foreigner. But one day, you remember my words, that if the situation is not curtailed right now, the government must take very serious punitive measures against those who are spreading hate speech against each tribe. The tribes are not fighting. Few individuals are fighting, are creating divisions. Can I pose a question, therefore, to the panel? What makes these guys to be defiant? Someone has just been released from 1 million bond cash. No sooner had he left the court than he issued a statement outside the court or nearby the court, telling the court with the middle finger. What makes them defiant? What has made these guys very defiant? Any psychologist who studied psychology, analysis, risk assessment, like me, I will come to tell you that they have a plan B. My first conclusion before going to military, as a military commander, these guys have a plan B. They know what it is. They are not worried of the consequences. They are not worried of being arrested, charged, and bailed. Even if you say 200 million, They will pay. They will pay. Why is it they are willing to pay 200 million than closing their mouths? Unless there is a funder. You saw Obado. As soon as Mr. Obado got out of the court, he went and told the court a middle finger. Because he was able to pay 20 million. Was it 20 million?
18.
Yes, about that 18 million. So you see the degree of resilience, the degree of desperation, the degree of belittlement, of belittling the state apparatus, starts with the Deputy President address in Kisi yesterday. Administration, police, administrative officers in the administration, you should stop this, that. Couldn't these words be said somewhere in the cabinet? Couldn't these words be said where the president was? Couldn't these words be said elsewhere where the public does not perceive that the government is divided? Why have we caused this perception of a divided government? Why? How would you govern a country when you seem to be leaders? You are quarreling in the media during daytime, southern savannah, in the tropics of savannah. What are the aims? There is plan B. If you look at a man who cannot close his mouth, you must understand that there is a plan. Why that the man not close his mouth? What is the courage? My worry is you just leave the state house from the cabinet, then you go and immediately climb a helicopter and go and say the things that you should have said with the president. That one worries me. And as an expert who studies international systems of how they operate, I believe there is a danger, a plan B. So the earlier the security agencies look at plan B, the better. That's my part. Thank you very much, Miriam. I hand it over to you now to go through all this, and then we come back.
Yes, indeed. And I think at this point, Professor, the other day here, we were here, responding to what the leadership, especially of the Pentecostal Church, had come out when they were raising issues to do with corruption and all of that. And I'm thinking this will be the right time for them to step in and say, wait 1 minute, we have a country to preserve. We have a country that we need to ensure that, future generations will be able to come and still get this Kenya intact. And our leaders, our political leaders are becoming a bit careless. And this threatens us as a people and also as a country. Why do you think the church is very quiet when this should be the time they should be coming out and just try to quell the tensions?
Miriam, I did pose a question last time. Which church are you talking about? The mainstream Catholic Church, or which church are you talking about? These people are receiving corruption money in their churches, and they know what corruption can do to a country. Even what we are trying to see today, Miriam, it is the ugly face of corruption which is manifesting itself. So the moment, Miriam, you dine with evil people, you can't see their mistakes. If they were true church, Miriam, I hope they should be able to say, oh guys, let us go for forgiveness and reconciliation to whatever might have happened. But you could see as when they were issuing the statement, you could see how bitter they were, as if someone has snatched something from them. So Miriam, as we speak in this point in time, if indeed as you are posing that question to me, this is the time the church should stand and be counted. And I want to quote Martin Luther King Jr. He said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in a moment of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. This is what I expect the church. In a time like this, they should have come forward and give the way forward to our leaders. I know if the head of the Catholic Church, of the Anglican Church, whichever church, if they seek an appointment with the president and the deputy president, they should be able to understand and have a conversation. So Miriam, as the church, we roasted it a long time ago. Even in a time of COVID like now, when they are supposed to assist the government, they are the ones who want to converge. So Miriam, I'm so much disturbed on what's happening in my country. This is not the country I should be proud of. Because the daggers, the hate speech, why should someone abuse one another? It is because we cannot talk. Why should I hate you? And as we discuss this, the National Commission for Integration should wake up. The National Cohesion and Integration Commission. We want to see them working like the way the former speaker or the Kabar was working. We have got the neighboring laws for everyone to be accountable to what he says. Miriam, you have got every cause to worry. You have slept in prison in custody for 3 days. You are given bail. You come out of court and you speak what he speaks. You hear what Sudi is saying. You abuse people and they say he can't apologize. In this time of COVID, when we are supposed to follow protocols, people are coming out to address. Miriam, the church, if it is there, it has got a greater role to come forward and save this country. But I want to tell you, and I want to sound them a warning in terms of geopolitics, because I understand how the world operates. Kenya is not a country you will cause chaos and you think you will run away with. The world is watching. It is keeping you records. It is providing you. In fact, this time I'm seeing some people going to spend more than 30 years or arrive jail in Hague, because they think what happened in 2007 and the people got out scot-free. Miriam, you heard me say, more than 1,200 Kenyans were killed and nobody has ever given us an answer. Children and disabled people were burned in a church and nobody's addressing this. And the people now are coming, threatening and doing all sorts of things. I was so much particularly upset what happened yesterday with the deputy president. The same police whom he was castigating are the one who brought the Senate, otherwise he could have not had a meeting, the meeting there. The youth were barricading the road. They had started burning tires. And then you go and say, you have come from a cabinet. Miriam, that's why I say PPI we need to address and know if you have absconded your duty. You don't do your duties. You don't remain in an office. 2 years, Miriam, is a longer period that you cannot sit around and loitering and having campaign. So the charges who are his buddies, whom he takes tithes and offering, because he's the only person in this country who God has blessed to call money in sacks and take to them. Let them tell him that we need peace. We need to talk to one another. We cannot wait until the country burns is when we can go for it. So the church, the one you have asked me, let them go and advise which side has got a problem. And you know, Miriam, I need not to blame. You know which side has got problem. And the anger you see in the faces of people and the way they speak. That's why sometimes let me just even urge the president once more. I want to see you talking to the person whom you are wearing the same tie and the same shirt and ask him what has gone wrong. Even if there is no single day unless the Ruto has got an intelligence of telling us the president has said he's not going to support him. He's only saying that can we work? 2022 will come. And in fact, yesterday I liked what the president says. He's going home. He has got no doubt. He said, I'm young, of course I know, but I want to go home. Thank you, Miriam.
All right, very well. And on the Standard newspaper.
Miriam, before somebody comes in,
Yes.
as we speak right now, Mr. Sudi has just led a very big demonstration in Eldoret town. They are battling it. I think what we are talking has come.
So what is the purpose of the protest? Do they have something that they want, they're agitating for, that perhaps they want to bring to the attention
Yes,
of the government?
of course, howling insults at the president. My correspondent who is on the ground has just sent me this, the reports. Is watching from there, and says the whole demonstration is denouncing the president. So I was very right that people who say that have second plan B. I was right. So if now demonstrations go on in each town, the people from Central Province are going to go to the streets. The people in Mombasa will go to the streets in support of the president. So the purpose is a strategy. While somebody is camouflaging that is part of the government, is using these little powers within the government and get some money out to people to look the other way while the president's name is being besmirched. Because now if the violence breaks up in Eldoret, the president is responsible. And he's not, someone is not reprimanding these people that don't hold any demonstration during COVID-19. Not even in Britain. Not anywhere. So who is protecting Sudi? Who is not telling Sudi? Who is not calling? Who is not seeing what Sudi is doing? Because that demonstration in Eldoret will have counter demonstrations across the country. So where are we heading? We are heading in a cul-de-sac where the state of, there's one keyword, the state of despondence.
All right.
We are creating a state of despondence. Any conflict resolution expert like me would see a state of despondence created to malign, to belittle the name of the president. That the president has no authority. Time has come for the president to have authority, to take it now and utilize to pick some of these guys. The consequences could be there if we left them hanging and telling people to come and demonstrate. The consequences could be there. It is either if a finger starts to rot, one finger oils the rest of fingers. You read that is a Tonga Island saying. Go to Tonga Island. I don't know how many of you know where the Tonga Islands are. They are in the Pacific Ocean. If one finger is oiled, it oils all others. Because oil goes down and it comes up and it goes down and it comes up. It's a Tonga Island in the Pacific Ocean. The Tonga are the Commonwealth. The Tonga here, we can see. And Mr. Oscar Sudi has shown that he has no disregard for the president. You see, the local wananchi, the bangi smokers, the alcohol drinkers, the goons, the mafia clique that the Halwales have been collecting in the Western region is going to come out. Because when they see, these are the pictures right now. Are they the pictures from Eldoret? Mm-hmm. Are these the pictures from Eldoret?
Yes, those are the pictures that the latest from Eldoret, that rally that MP for Kapseret there, just Oscar Sudi.
So you can see for yourself. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, don't say I did not say. This man is a matatu tout. He doesn't have this to like a matatu or like a Miriam or like a prophet, like a Ruto. But he's being used by Ruto to go and damage everything Uhuru has done. They are not interested. The time has come to tell the truth. These guys are not interested to know whether President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing what. They are not. If they can defiantly, and the whole administration and the police keep quiet, and they allow them to march in these big numbers, then there's something which is very wrong, which I am saying, thank you very much. Let's end the program and go home. Because we don't see any reason as to why. Maybe for us, we continue to talk every day, and nobody takes our advice.
But maybe the challenge with that is also because President Uhuru Kenyatta, I remember a few weeks ago, he said Kenya is a country that respects the constitution, so perhaps the freedom of speech.
Yes, Miriam, yes, I'm not saying.
Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why
Kenya,
it's just
you can respect the constitution, but the constitution cannot go in COVID-19.
Yes, that is where the problem is.
Whereas you are curtailing demonstration is in Nairobi. You mean if you said it today, how many people support Uhuru Kenyatta? How many of us would be on the streets today?
A lot of people.
Yes. No. How many people support Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila in Nairobi? Ruto will run out of this city. I'm telling you now. Do you want that? We don't want that. If you said how many people supported the president and Raila Odinga and others, you will see how many people.
Yes.
This city will be impossible to pass. So what example do you think you are giving to people in Eldoret? If you give Mr. Sudi to demonstrate, to howl insults at the president, the other people who might not be talking like Matanga, others will start talking differently. Also plan demonstrations. So the country will be in chaos. This guy is mobilizing the country to chaos. And if I don't speak now, so that I'm recorded by even the body that will look into these things in the future, you know what we are talking here on this program could be used. We could be witnesses that we show the clips of a man in this COVID-19 has come to mobilize his tribesmen to come to the streets against the government. Because they have a plan B. And I've been telling people this. People have not been listening to. Now, see there, plan B.
I think it's worrying there. It's worrying there, and of course we're not able to hear what Oscar MP Oscar Sudi they're saying. So perhaps by the end of the show we shall be perhaps know what is it that he was addressing there, because I from where I sit I don't know the purpose of the protest. So, but I'm sure in due course we shall know what is it that he was saying there in Eldoret. Daniel, going by the events that we've been seeing recently.
Let me correct you. Because now this is a very careful time where we must know which words we are speaking.
Yes.
This thing has gone out of proportion. You get my point, Professor?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we have to be careful not to be found that inflammation. We are not implementing anything. I want to answer some of the comments of Ina Hassan. The president did not call a rally. The president was going to open the hospital, and he was going through to open the Kenyatta National Hospital. The president did not call for a public rally, as it was called over national television everywhere that there will be a public rally in Kisii. Am I right?
You're right.
The rally in Kisii was on Twitter, was everywhere. So the president did not call so that you can compare and say he called. The president of the Republic of Kenya has a right anywhere, at any time, to summon the country. But the deputy president has no right, but he seeks permission. If he's going for national duty, he's a deputy to the president, he's a personal assistant to the president. Therefore, he can't do his things without even a consultation. The deputy president was in the State House yesterday. He should have voiced, my concern is not him. He can express what he wants. He's a Kenyan, he's free. But my concern is, why didn't he raise these issues with the president? I think all of you here will agree with me.
Very
that if there are contentious issues, the deputy president, I'm not going to talk like a kid here on this panel. I am going to talk as a man giving advice that if there was a contentious issue, the deputy president should have just asked the president for even 10 minutes yesterday before he flies out to Kisii to say, please, I am being frustrated. I can't do my work because of officials in the Ministry of Interior. They are not giving me support. I am this. Then some of this can be solved quietly without bringing in the public. But when you go openly to tell the public in Kisii, that's why the MP Sudi has the courage also now to go public, because he has had his boss who pays him, who brought him where he is. They do deals together. They bring maize from Uganda together. To say, I am saying it, what will you do? This is a question what to do. So you think the people living in Eldoret right now are not on tension, high tension. These things started like this. These are inflammatory speeches. So is it that the guy cannot be picked up, put in isolation? The magistrates and the judges are seeing what is happening. There is no judge in this country who would want to see a repeat of 2007. No.
But Doctor, don't you think arrest perhaps might make things worse, and maybe that's why even with the hate speech that you've seen in the few days ago, it's a very delicate balance, because at the same time you don't want the country to be broken further. You still have to have a united Kenya and all that. So arresting them might not be such a
no,
good
but
idea.
you can't break. Look, in the military warfare,
You break the law works on you.
yes,
Yeah.
you are broken the law. We are not going. How many millions are demonstrating? How many millions are demonstrating? Which part of the country is demonstrating in favor of what Sudi was doing? It is only his place in Eldoret. Therefore, go and pick him to stand to be charged. The police should do their work. Who is the policeman who gave the permission? Can you go to Nairobi now and do a demonstration without tear gas coming? Why is there no tear gas there? Is there something that is compromised?
Yeah.
Is there a plan? Those are the questions that the panel can help to answer in a few minutes remaining. We go home.
All right, very well. Daniel, I know you've not said anything since we started, but I don't know what a doctor there is suggesting, the timing of that and the dangers. Will that not send more people to the streets who now will have a reason, to go out and protest even more, saying now you're even arresting our leaders, because that could be a bait, because perhaps they're expecting a sudden reaction from the government. So is it a good thing that even the police are exercising some sort of restraint, or should these leaders be arrested at all?
Yes, Miriam, first of all, let me say that they say history repeats itself, first as an event, and secondly as a tragedy. And whatever happening that are going on in Eldoret, being spearheaded by Oscar Sudi and Johanna Ngeno Murwadi Kir, are quite a clear manifestation that this country is slowly slipping back into the horrors and the chaos of 2007, which led to bloodshed and a lot of anarchy in the country. And that is a very ugly past that we might never wish to go back to. And I agree with Dr. Matsanga, Professor Jared Onyari, Karen Joseph, and Kenneth, that this country needs peace. President Uhuru needs quite some good time and an ample environment to deliver on his agenda. And therefore, it will be very noble to come out clearly and tell Oscar Sudi and the allies of the deputy president that no one, as Dr. Matsanga says, no one has a monopoly over violence. No one is above the law, and no one has also a monopoly over insults. We have people who are defending the president. The president has his own people in his backyard. He has friends, and the country at large. Remember, the president is the symbol of national unity. He unites an entire country, not only portions of it, like Oscar Sudi, an MP for Kapseret, is. So therefore, there is a very, very, very urgent need to let these people know that the president ought to be respected, and that is non-negotiable, Miriam. We have to make it unequivocally clear that the president is a symbol of the national unity, and it is this unity that holds the country together. And perhaps that is why you will not see you will not see President Uhuru Kenyatta going to the podium and being able to give a rebuttal of those who are insulting him and his family. And of course, Miriam, right now as it is, these people are trying all the possible means to provoke the government. But what Dr. Matsanga said and what has Professor Nyari has also said clearly, that no one is above the law. As we exercise our rights and freedoms, we have to understand that for every right there is a responsibility, and there is always a red tape where you cannot be allowed to overstep. And once they reach that red tape, I believe the government will use whichever resources in its disposition to be able to quell the situation back to normalcy. And that is what a country which is not a banana republic does. So therefore, Oscar Sudi, Johanna Ngeno, and their cronies should not take the kindness of a government of the day for meekness, and they should not provoke this country and drive it back to the dark days of 2007, 2008 post-election violence. As we are right now, we are only 2 years to the election, and whatever we need is a very, very peaceful environment where Kenyans will be able to decide who their next leader is, devoid of coercion, devoid of intimidation, devoid of useless ethnic tensions. That is my perspective, Miriam.
It's interesting you brought their ethnic tensions, but perhaps we should not take that route so much, because we know like what is happening right now. Well, we have not been able to get what is it that MP Oscar Sudi has said there, but maybe, as I said there earlier, we shall know the content of that. But he's having a rally right now in Eldoret, and Karen, these simmering tensions, are we at a tipping point, and is it perhaps time all our political leaders from both sides just took a moment and thought about where is it this road they're taking us as a country? Can it be able to be stopped so that we're able to look at things soberly? We can have disagreements, but at the end of the day, can we do it caring that we have a country to protect at the end of the day? Karen.
Yes, very true, Miriam. We have a country to protect, and it's high time that our leaders come together, find better ways of venting their dissatisfaction. Yes, correct. Because we have other issues to deal with. We have COVID right now. We have corruption. We're fighting corruption. We are working on, delivering the BBI. So I think the leaders should not be piling up issues by the day. We have too much already to handle. And I think the arrest should take place. If we don't do this, then other parts of the country might, conduct their own demonstrations, because you are, insulting somebody here. And this person has his people as well. So other people, his people might not be comfortable with that. We'll be putting this country in a very difficult situation with what is happening right now. So the arrest should take place, like Wasonga just said, and Dr. Matanga, nobody is above the law. And we will not be, it's not a bait in it. It could be a bait, but we cannot show cowardice and just sit and watch. We need to let them know that the government is still here. There is a head of state who is still very much in authority, and that's the only way we can do that, by conducting this arrest. Otherwise, other parts of the country might actually conduct their own, and we will not be moving anywhere anytime soon.
All right, Professor, I hear Karen there, Doctor as well, and also Daniel there. They are proposing some arrest there. Will that be counterproductive for the, as we look at simmering things down and just unity as a country? Will that be counterproductive should any even arrest be made right now? Unless for those who already are facing the law, as because there was proof of hate speech and some other people who are facing those who are being investigated.
insulted them. He said, no. Achana na mamangu tusi mama senu. They should be able to fight their anger. Let me tell you, Miriam, so long as we are human beings, conflict will always be there. We quarrel with our spouses, we quarrel with our children, we quarrel with our brothers, we quarrel with our siblings. But the worst disaster is that if we allow those conflicts escalate and not to be settled now up to where we are now today, that's where the danger, Miriam. This is the time for COVID-19. And we are hearing what's happening globally. We are having this comparative, what's happening in Australia, in the UK, in other countries of the world about COVID-19. And then you come out, you are demonstrating. What is this aggrieving you? Miriam, when you come to conflict, there are some triggers which you see. There is something bigger than this. I can sense it, I can smell it, I can have an instinct about it. So Miriam, we are not going to fear you. That's simply that you can mobilize people and do this. We are a country guided by the law. Where your rights stops, that's where Daniel rights begins. And Miriam, now what they are trying to do, you cannot be around. And let me tell you, Miriam, we have a lesson to learn. President Mwai Kibaki was too slow to act. Otherwise, we could have not gone to that extent. It was about that let them just demonstrate and let us do those things. What I've said, the world is watching. Everybody else is watching. If they have got a case, if they have got issue, the deputy president is the principal assistant to the president. He can raise those issues. You cannot attend the cabinet. You fly to Kisii and then you start saying. In fact, that kind of thinking and impunity is coming from what happened in Kisii. When you start saying that the police are targeting you, Miriam, what has happened to our country? You are the deputy to the president, the second in command, and now you are crying? Miriam, let me tell you. Let me tell you that if all that is alleging is true, but the country is bigger than anybody else. If there is anarchy and chaos in this country, and let me tell you, people can take positions. That's what Dr. Masanga is telling you. Everybody who doesn't have supporters. Can the deputy president be a president of this country because of Rift Valley? What if people are going to brigade we are going to demonstrate every city in this country, every county? That's not the kind of country we want. So Miriam, we will not fear you, simply that you can be able to mobilize wananchi so that they demonstrate. No. The laws are there and we are supposed to obey the law. And in fact, the way Dr. Masanga says, we made a mistake to be giving people bail. We allowed this civil society to come out and sneak this kind of things. Now you see, now it is interfering with the national security of our country. You are becoming like someone knows that, oh, I will be just arrested tomorrow and I will put money there because they have the money and I come out. So Miriam, let me just end by saying, the president has got the responsibility and the buck stops at him to protect lives of Kenyans and the property of Kenyans, because you saw him swearing, being sworn in and Kasarani, and he said that he will defend the constitution and the laws of this country.
All right, and Ina Hassan, you're saying in the end, it's Kenyans that will lose. These leaders can take their families abroad or may have them abroad already. Jeremiah Rutich, thank you so much for joining us. And you're saying, Hassan, you're right. You're responding to that comment. That's why we want to guard peace as much as we can as citizens. So we know these problems that we're seeing currently, in the Jubilee Party, the ruling party, particularly started when President Uhuru Kenyatta had that famous handshake with the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga there because of where the country was at that time, and they thought perhaps this will be the right way to put this country in the right path and finding a lasting peace for future generations and years to come there. But that seems to have on the other flip side, instead of just uniting, starting a road to unity, there were a section of the politicians, Deputy President and his allies, who felt, no, we were not included, we were not part of this, we do not want it, and it brought a lot of problems, and that is the truth. So I'm just wondering, Doctor, what is so wrong about this handshake that now is, what is so wrong about this handshake?
First of all, Miriam, the handshake will never be shaken.
100%.
That's it. You can go and tell anybody you want to tell. And most of us, maybe we are receiving threats. I am on the threatening line.
You're on threat list.
Eh?
You're on a threat list.
You are what?
You're saying you're on a threat list. Other people who are
yes, a big one, of course.
Okay.
But I am not bothered. But he better thanks me first before he kills me. Let him thank me for I helped him not to go to jail. So these threats that I'm being given every time, I have got 8 good children, very well mannered. They don't steal people's money. None of my children goes to do business with government.
It's the handshake.
Yes. No, it's okay. Because tomorrow I might not speak. Jacob Juma was here, did not speak tomorrow. Isn't it? Yeah? Better leave a record here so that people know. I'm being threatened, but it's okay. For the standing for Uhuru Kenyatta, it's okay. If I'm to go that side, it's fine. And I will not change my side. My side is specifically Uhuru Kenyatta. Because he's the president of the Republic of Kenya, I cannot support any other faction. Isn't it?
True.
Which faction do I go to support? I'm a guest in this place. I can't support anybody else except the head of state. When I step in out of the airport, I know I'm going to a head of state of a country called Kenya, not another mafia outfit. So I'm not going to be. I'm a soldier. Soldiers, once you shower that cold water in the morning, you don't wait for your wife to prepare hot water. Miriam, you grew up in a family of a very senior person in this country.
I wish.
It does not wait for Mama to bring you hot water.
Yes, that is true.
It's already showered. I shower at 3 with cold water. And that is why you see me. Have you ever seen me telling you that I'm completely in this post? Because I shower at 3 with cold water. Namagika from here. Don't put it on the scalp because you can get a stroke. In the morning, the brain it hasn't moved so much. So you can stick it somewhere. First, when you are showering, start showering from the back. And here, I'm teaching everything here.
Yes, I didn't know that. So
you better know it from today. And don't take my things very serious.
Yes.
Don't shower. Don't go to the shower and put your head like this for water to roll here. The brain has not settled.
Okay.
Most people who die in bathrooms. Do you know that? You have not said that people who have got this thing that he died in a bathroom.
Especially the older people. Is that a reason
yes.
why?
So, that is why I'm here. That's why I'm over 60 years.
I have my head is washed at the salon, so I'm not at risk.
So
Perhaps,
don't
Professor.
worry.
Professor, yes.
You are lucky, but start with the way of going to the bathroom. And I'm teaching now. Go start with these parts, the stomach, here, down the back, that behind.
Okay.
Then lastly, when you have put these two, the blood has gone. You know, the blood comes from down and it goes up, not up to down. Have you noticed why they touch people's legs, not the head?
To check for pulse.
Yeah. No, why? Mm-hmm. Where is the engine of the body? Where does it stay? Do you know where it is? Mm-hmm. Which parts of the body die first for you to know the person has died? The foot. The feet. Professor, are you not saying? Don't you know it? Let me teach you, man. Then I need to have one of the topics 1 hour. The feet. Class. If you want to know that a person has died, if you come and touch the feet and they are still warm, that person has not died. The person dies from the feet. It's the feet that die. Once the feet is gone, it's very difficult to resuscitate the brain. So that's why you start. Do you know where you start washing yourself? Start with the legs, come up here, then finally. Then. When the blood has now walked up and its back circulation is done, the cold water brings the circulation up. It goes now, it is on all parts. Then now you can shower. Try to go to the shower. You are still younger people. Try to go to the shower and start putting water on the head immediately. As long as you have seen the reaction.
Yeah.
Just in a second or half a second, you think like you have lost balance. Mm-hmm. Yes. So you should know that. But the question you asked, let me come back to it. That we have threats. Yes. We have had them. I'm a soldier. Soldiers don't die sitting. They die fighting. I stand by the truth. If anybody does not see that I played a part and he hates me more than the part I played, so be it. So be it. But with this coming up again, the way we are seeing now, you see, the way we are seeing, it is going nowhere. These guys they can meet, they can talk. The deputy president can make a telephone call and complain of what he wants to complain, not to complain to the public. You see, the public will pick up these examples and they go around. Imagine all people from Central and every place also start in support of the president. And others come in support of the deputy. Are we not going to have clashes?
Oh, yes.
And I pray it doesn't get there.
Then another stupid man called Jeremiah Rotich, stupid who you are. You are very stupid and be blocked from my television. Go and watch Ruto's television. You don't insult me on my own television. I have done nothing. I'm just teaching you. I'm not saying there is anything. I'm not going down. If you want to come, you think I sleep on a tree. You foolish idiot. I don't sleep on a tree. Where I sleep, you can't come there. You fool. You don't insult me on my TV. Even block that idiot. These are some of the generic accounts that are brought here to disrespect people. We are not discussing here. This is the type of language where you go to uproot people from their homes and take over their homes. You stupid cunt. Don't bring chaos on my TV. to even block that cunt from my TV. Hii watu wanazoea, they harass Uhuru, they insult Uhuru. They don't want, you see the problem is, they don't want you to speak about what they do, but they want you not to speak about what they do. But when they are attacking Uhuru, they don't want anybody to defend Uhuru. You see, that is the problem we have in media, social media. I have a big problem. When you go down to support President Uhuru, you are called so many names. Look at the names I'm called every day because of my support for President Uhuru Kenyatta. Such a person can go and see it. Anaweza enda kuona somewhere. Let him see it from view sasa. Atanionea kwa view sasa, hapana ku exchange na mimi. Kwenda. You don't even wash your mouth. You want to talk to me who brushes my mouth every morning. What? If you start a package, I also have a package. Miriam, I'm coming back to decorum. Sense of, I'm sorry. But at times, when you are on this TV, you should not be bullied. You are not asking for money from anybody. You should not allow to be bullied. They can create their own TV and insult us if they want. But you don't come to my TV and insult me. I've been here for 4 years. I created it. It is here. It's grown big. But I'm not going to be insulted. You create yours with Ruto and insult me. I'm not. Did I tell him to grab everything? Then disagree with his boss. My friend. Where? Yeah. Fine.
All right. Very well. As we conclude, Professor, Doctor, you back? All right. As we conclude, Karen, your conclusion for today and the events that have been happening in this country, are you worried? And perhaps what will be your advice as a Kenyan, to our leaders, both sides?
Being worried.
When you look at this, before 2007 elections, the same people opposed to the dialogue of President Uhuru Kenyatta with the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Karen. Then Karen, you'll come. Go ahead as we conclude your conclusion.
Oh, I'm saying this before the hand coup, the same people who are now opposing the president and who are insulting the president, they were opposed for the dialogue between President Uhuru Kenyatta and the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. Mm-hmm. And now they have taken it a bit higher. They have closed the bar. They are still insulting the president and they are in the government that they were elected to serve. It's yet unfortunate that a person who was elected in the same ticket with the president had sidelined his duties, and now he has taken the opposition roles, and he is insulting the people. We know in 2007, the number of effects that came in this country, they were severely held in Eldoret and those areas of Rift Valley. And in 2013, when President Uhuru shook hand with the deputy president, peace prevailed in that election, and the next election on 2017, and the repeat election on October 26th of 2017, peace prevailed in Rift Valley. But now, because the same people and the same grouping have taken the roles they were playing in prior to 2007 elections, peace might be a vocabulary in this country if these guys are not tamed early enough. The security agencies must rise into the occasion and make sure that these people are prosecuted. And I think they should not be given bail this time round. They should stay there in committee so that they serve as an example to those people who might think that this country is an entitlement that a certain person must rule. That notion must come to an end in those people who think that they have monopoly of candidature. They have monopoly to insult people. If they continue doing that, and I agree with Doctor and Professor and the rest of the panels that those people who support the president, they will come countering those demonstrations that are being led by Oscar Sudi in Eldoret. And this country will be ungovernable. We don't want to go through that route again. We have a bitter past, and we must make a joyful future by making sure that we tame and we preach peace. And that is why what we are doing in Punchline Africa TV, we are preaching peace. And those people who are listening out there, let us unite. And we should castigate and we should shame those people, the likes of Ngeno, the likes of Oscar Sudi, who think that is a must for the part of defined of political divide to rule this nation. That notion must come to an end, and they must understand that election will be a competitive race, and the person who have the majority, the 50+1 threshold, will be announced the winner. It's not a must for an individual to rule this nation. Thank you very much, Miriam.
All right, very well, Karanja there. Thank you so much, and thank you. Karen, you will say something there. If you were to advise our leadership as a young person and as a Kenyan, and looking at the events that have been happening, personally, I'm troubled as a Kenyan, to be honest with you. I am a bit troubled, so I'm just hoping things don't get completely out of hand. I think we still have an opportunity where our leaders can come to themselves, and they can actually, even if they're debating and you know, having different views, but they can do that in a way that is respectful, in a way that is does not you know, threaten to tear this country apart, in a way that is just sober. We need some soberness, and we need adults in the room right now. Karen, what is your take as we conclude?
I'm very much worried, just like you are, Miriam, and I do not know what tomorrow holds with what is happening. But what I can say is we should not take lightly anything that threatens the stability of this country. Anything here, I mean, what people say, sentiments of what our leaders say, or anybody says about the country that could threaten our stability, any act like the demonstrations we're seeing right now, we should not take that lightly, because we are trying as much as we can to not have history repeating itself. We are not ready to, I don't know whether those who are spearheading all this are ready to go back to the ICC. I mean, they're ready to go
All right, we seem to be
to the IC. And if they are not, then peace, national unity, national cohesion. So we should not do anything that will take us to those bad books. That is all I can say, Miriam.
Thank you so much, Karen. There from Malindi. Daniel, as we conclude, your take.
Yes, Miriam. It is very true that this country has had a very turbulent history when it comes to elections, when it comes to intercommunal interactions. And therefore, when the handshake happened earlier in 2018, it took a very seismic but yet progressive shift from the turbulence that we had earlier on witnessed. And we are slowly forging a very progressive front, a very peaceful path of prosperity as a country. And you have to agree with me that since the handshake happened, Kenyans have been enjoying unfamiliar kind of peace and just a very conducive environment, something which has also improved our investor confidence to bring more people in the country. And Professor Jared Onyari said yesterday, and Dr. Masanga, that a country can only progress well economically. It can only attract investors when it enjoys a very, very big, peaceful atmosphere. So that is all we need at the moment. And we should, as Kenyans, reject any forces, any people who are involved in creating some pockets of anarchy in whichever parts of the country they are in. So I believe the country will take a very lawful way in handling this. Of Interior and other security agencies should not relent in ensuring that the property and the lives of Kenyans are protected amid all this chaos. We have to restore the country back in order. We are so, and there's no one as if they are above the law. That is my parting shot.
All right, very well, Professor.
Miriam, disturbed the way you are disturbed. The Bible says, Matthew 5:9, blessed are the peacemakers, for they can be called sons and daughters of God. Psalms 103, verse 1 says, behold, how blessed it is for brethren to live in harmony and unity. And the question I'm posing to my fellow Kenyans and my fellow countrymen, how can we create sustainable peace in this country? They always bow your words that let us not leave anyone behind. Lazima tuwasimise watu tusikane mkono tusonge mbele tukileta amani nchi hii. I'm making with a lot of humility, Miriam. Let us stop drumming drums of war. Peace will destroy our country. Conflict will ensure that the vulnerable people suffer, Miriam, especially the poor, the young, and the children. There are so many problems bedeviling this country, Miriam. The young people cannot get jobs. People cannot put food on their table to eat. Even in fact, they don't even have that table. Even the bread they don't have for that case. Miriam, let us stop hate speech. This country is enough for all of us. In fact, what we only need to do when we will die is only the 6 feet, 4 feet and 6 feet down, which will be opened. And if you give a will to be panned, there's nothing you will go for this country. What we only do, let us embrace peace. And I'm saying peace is a question of will. We have to decide that we want peace in this country. Nobody will work for peace or country. The 2007, Miriam, we were losing our country. And that's how some of us, we became peace ambassadors trying to promote peace, that it is good to promote peace, Miriam. And I'm going to give a recommendation that, Miriam, if all of us work together, and sometimes when we appear here that we are not supporting, and in fact, I don't even know how President Uhuru works. I've never even greeted him. I normally see him on TV. But since he's a symbol of unity, Miriam, he's the chief, the chief of the army of the defense forces of the Republic of Kenya. He's also human. Even yesterday, Miriam, I was telling you, and you thought I was telling you, you cannot abuse someone, it's matter. And then you take him kind. He's not having the heart of stone. That's where you can so and say that don't insult my mom. If you want to insult someone, then insult your mom. So Miriam, let us not go to this direction, Miriam. We will destroy this country. And let me tell you, Miriam, I have been privileged to interact with people around the world, with being ambassador of peace and practicing civility. People like this country. And when I'm giving them recommendation that you cannot start chaos because of the geographical positioning of Kenya, and then you'll be around. You will see the entire world coming here. People have been killing each other in Southern Sudan since 2014. It is on 2nd October that they are going to sign, because we said from here, let them just give peace a chance. So the likes of Oscar Sudi, you are all our brothers. You are an honorable member of parliament because those people have given you a chance to serve. And if there's any way that you don't know, we can help. Let us understand what's your problem. We can speak on your behalf if you don't know how to speak, so that Kenya become a peaceful country. I don't know, sometimes you look how Dr. Masanga looks like. Even now, I'm very emotional. Because Miriam, I don't have another country to go. I went to Rwanda 2004 and I went to the genocide site. And I could see how the people in the museums, how people, and you wonder how people can wake up one morning. Miriam, chaos and anarchy and conflict does not pay. It will only destroy our country. This country is bigger than all of us. And at some point in time in life, the hairbrain will stop and we disembark, because life should have gone to us the way Dr. Masang was trying to, where you start dying, we will die and we will go. But let us live a peaceful country for our children and our children. Thank you.
All right, Doctor, end it for us. Doctor, are you there? All right, so I'm not sure if you're able to get Doctor right now, but thank you so much. This has been The Punch, and we've been looking at the week of... Yes.
I'm here.
Okay.
I am here. First of all, there's a topic we have not touched. You can't end it. There's something new that has happened in Africa. After 59 years, the body of Patrice Lumumba was finally found in Brussels. How cruel is this, Miriam? I think since we don't have much time, we need to exhaustively discuss this subject on Sunday. And we shall dedicate Sunday for the entire situation. Thank you very much. On the question of the subject, I believe that people have heard. Let's stop the hate speech. Let's not draw out the daggers. Let's reconcile. Let's look for one country called Kenya. A bad Kenya is a bad Uganda for me. Thank you very much. Viewers, God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. And maybe to add on our list of the things we shall look at on Sunday during Africa Showdown.
Yes.
On the Daily Nation. On the Daily Nation, Doctor, here it says ANC seeks political deal in Zimbabwe. South Africa's ruling African National Congress has stepped up efforts to broker a political settlement in Zimbabwe. So I think that is something that we can add on our list on the countries we shall be looking at during our African Showdown on Sunday there. Thank you so much for your time. This has been The Punch. My name is Miriam Ugotu. Good afternoon to you.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.